Hello and welcome to 3D Printer Build Along Part 10. I can say it straight away. Now, unlike last week in which my lazy colleague plugged in a power supply, probed it and left it as that, I'm actually going to
wait one minute, hang on. What does this so-called lazy one have to say about this? I think you did a tremendous job showing how good that rubbish multimeter was.
Exactly, might not be anything to do with the 3D printer, but it was a power supply.
And it worked exactly as it should.
Yes.
So anyway, now that we've finished that fracker, no BBC pun intended there, honest.
You're sacked.
I'm not sacked. I'm going to do my own show. But anyhow, today I'm actually going to be putting a stepper motor on and actually making it so that the 3D printer can finally move. Well, a little bit of it can move anyhow.
And he was telling me this is actually one of the stepper motors we were desperately after.
Yes, I had a quick look because I noticed it said ACT motor. It says 17 HS3404Y, which just rolls off the tongue.
Put that underneath.
What?
You can put that underneath or put some caption on the screen over top of that.
Well, yeah, that's just it. I'll do something.
Oh, because it rolls off the tongue so well.
Well, absolutely. I did actually Google it, and it is actually a Nema 17, which I thought it was. It did look exactly like a Nema 17, and it actually is one. So we've finally got a Nema 17, and there will be more to come.
Woo! One more.
Well, yeah, it's still more. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be fitting this motor in place, but I'm also going to be attaching a gear to the motor, which I'm going to do first. We're going to just plop that in there, which will rise it back up.
Now, first thing I'd say is, how do they know they've got it on right?
Right, what it does have, which is what I was just about to come to, is you do have this tiny little grub screw, and you also have a grub screw hole, and on top of that you also have a flat piece on the shaft.
Flat edge.
Yeah,
right.
Because we're now playing with 3 shafts at one go.
So, hang on, this is taking a single grub screw?
It is taking a single grub
so
screw.
So it's not of the best design then?
No, but it's only got the one flat edge, so it might well do. Because we haven't really got space on there to manipulate it very well to put an extra bolt hole in there and keep it on a flat surface. But all we're going to do is just put our finger on the top of the shaft so we can make sure that we keep that.
So you're mounting it level with the top?
Yeah, I'm just going to mount it level with the top, and then I'm going to get the grub screw.
And I suppose this would be the time to say they actually provided the Allen key for this one.
They did actually promise we'd be getting a full toolkit with shipment 2. We're now currently on shipment 3, and we still haven't actually received the toolkit.
And actually,
but we did receive.
Is shipment 4 on its way?
Shipment 4 is on its way, and that was supposed to contain the USB key that we actually received in shipment 2. So I'm hoping shipment 4 will hopefully contain the toolkit. If not, it's going to contain another USB key, in which case we're then going to have to do some butt whooping. But we will get the toolkit for you, so you can see what you get. So I'm just going to, in fact, to make it a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting the grub screw in outside of the motor. Just do it up just enough, just so that the thread just starts to take. So now I've got the grub screw in there. Then I can put it down onto the flat edge, and I'll just make it a little bit easier. Just tighten up so you're not having to try and start a thread off at an angle, a 90-degree angle. And then you just want to just do that up until it goes tight. You'll know that you're definitely got on the flat edge because it'll be the only side that will actually allow the grub screw to go all the way in. Just want to make it so it goes in, goes flush. So that's now set in place. Next up is let's mount this inside our Y gantry. So we're just going to sit that on there.
Do you want me to put my hand the other end for you?
Thank you. We're going to make sure that that band goes on there.
Now, if I can get it closer, you notice the slots are, the screw holes are actually slots, which I'm assuming that's where we've got some adjustment.
Yes, we have got some adjustment, yeah.
Just like we did on the shafts.
We're now going to start taking our screws. Unfortunately, the packaging that they introduce the screws in, because they sort of blister pack all of the screws, does make
And then
it quite
sellotape
hard,
them.
and then sellotape them. It does make it quite hard to get them out. What we're going to do is just loosely put the screws in, just so that we can run a manual test in a second and just make sure that it's all free moving.
So one of the things I'd say here straight away that looks quite nasty is the black wire on the end stop switch, limit switch.
Yeah,
I mean, that's virtually touching.
Yeah, it's not.
What I can see of it.
It's certainly not the best of designs that I've seen. Yeah, when you're talking about the end stop, but I personally would have taken both the cables out the one side so that it's kept nicely out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well this will focus in, but I mean, that is absolutely millimetre or so away from the bottom of that cog, or gear as you're calling it.
Yeah. And also already, because we've already got the band and the stop etc in there, it's actually making these screws quite hard to
Get past.
sort of get into the right place. Yeah, you really do.
The problem is it's not very magnetised.
No, I might try another screwdriver. Let's see if we can.
Oh, you're going to the small screwdriver?
Yeah. You do definitely want to get a magnetised screwdriver in there to do these up. Make it.
What we might have to do is get that one a bit more magnetised. So I suppose one of the things you're looking for here is you're going to have to look for is the band tension.
Yeah, that's the step. We want to make sure that there's enough tension on it, not so much tension.
You dying over there?
Yep.
We want to make it so there's not so much tension that the band's going to snap, but in the same respect, we don't want it to be limp. That's not what we're going to do now. Is just move this down, and we're just making sure that this cog is there and turning.
Right, I do have a question that you may or may not be able to answer.
Yeah.
For obvious. If you move the head back this way, there's quite a little weird kink in the band.
Yeah, there is.
I'm hoping that's going to be all right.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
it does. I don't think I can get this coming to focus in well enough.
There is a bit of a kink there. I'm not sure if that's just from the tightness of this. Let's see if we can adjust that a little bit and maybe take that out. Obviously, because of the nature of the design and how it is.
Oh, that looks better.
Everything's designed in such a way that you've got that adjustment that you can make. I mean, that's looking nice. You can see that's turning.
Yeah, that's showing. What's stopping that come off the top?
There's absolutely nothing stopping it.
Because on where I did the
you've actually got a groove there.
Yeah, it's sunk in, isn't it? So
yeah,
there's
that's something I have noticed. There is nothing to stop it sliding off of there. Now, I'm not sure if it's.
See, that does actually slightly come over the top at that point.
Yeah, it does actually ride up. So it might be something to just keep an eye on. It
Now,
has actually got a hole in the top there, so they might possibly put something in there later on.
Yeah, you could. I suppose you could put a washer on there, couldn't you? It's slightly wider than the.
Anything just to stop it sliding and rising up. The final thing to do, which is just get its head up to the other side.
I need to put that down because this is where I think you'd need you have a glamorous assistant to help you keep the end up.
Yeah.
Where's this one? I thought there was only one gantry system.
Get yourself in there.
Ian, if you can hold my end up.
Right, don't hold over the end yet, just put underneath.
Yep. And in fact, this is such a pain to get them in. I'm actually going to take the top off.
You stripping, boys.
In fact, I'm going to take the bottom off as well.
He's definitely stripping, boys. Time to close your eyes.
Just whilst I'm plugging it in. Obviously, as you go down like this, you are going to be touching a load of bits. So if you do decide to do this method, do make sure that you've not got the power supply plugged in. So we're going to plug the motor in, and we're also going to plug in our end stop, which have rather nicely got these little Y labels on them, so you know that they are for the Y
Yeah,
gantry.
unfortunately they don't show out on this camera.
Now that we're going to be actually powering it up, we will pop this back into its box.
not sure you can actually put the lid back on there, can you? It doesn't matter, you don't need to anyway.
Okay, we won't put the lid on. We'll just put that bit on just to protect it a little bit. We should now get the power supply, which I shall...
Right, so I suppose the first thing to do is make sure the switches on the actual little board is off.
Yeah, so I've made sure that the switch is on the off position.
Right, this is where I can't see very well, unfortunately, so I need to give myself some more light. There you go. So there's nothing showing up as on.
So I'm now going to switch that on.
Well, so we've got a power light.
And now...
Oh, that's noisy. But it's working. We have movement.
Yeah, it does make a bit of a noise there, doesn't it? If it tries to hit the bottom, it obviously slips a little bit because it can't physically go any further.
Let's see how the end stop bit works. So it doesn't stop.
No, at the moment it's not actually stopping. You would have thought it would have stopped it. But maybe that's not going to work properly until the
software's
in. You would have thought it should have worked already.
So it's not hard, it's not breaking the connection.
Let's just find out if it's... No, look, that's definitely firmly pushed in, and it's still allowing it to move.
So I'm assuming
maybe this board doesn't have the required software on it.
What I do want to do is the old... Yeah, it's done for a while, that's alright.
Yeah, that feels all nice.
Pretty good.
So that is it for week 10, for part 10, and join us next time.